Now, according to UNESCO, 55% of adults and children are bullied on a daily basis in South Africa. Now, bullying is not only limited to children, but it also occurs in the workplace as well, and as well as relationships. So joining us in the loft is Mayveen Burma from Project Braveheart, a comprehensive bullying movement that aims to minimize bullying in our societies, help victims of bullying, and help the perpetrators find help and guidance as well. Mayveen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you here. Project Braveheart, tell us exactly what it's about.
Project Braveheart started about 6 years ago when my kids were bullied. And going through that program, or that incident, we discovered South Africa needs a much more comprehensive program.
Yeah.
Myself as a parent didn't know where to go to, who to speak to. We got conflicting information from the school. So it lingered in my brain for like 6-7 years, and eventually I just decided it's now, because the cases were getting more severe. So it became a bigger problem and kids were dying, and we cannot allow that. Yeah, we lost 5 kids about 4 weeks ago.
Oh my word.
Yeah, so it's a serious...
From actual violence?
From violence.
Between other children or children hurting themselves?
No, one was a suicide case and the others were violent. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When does bullying become an issue, like aside from just kids on the schoolyard just scrapping about with each other to bullying? When do you know that it's something serious?
It's repetitive bad behaviour. That's the quickest way of actually describing. And what we at Braveheart say is that we actually look at how the incident actually affects the person. Because everybody, you know, reacts to trauma differently. Yeah. So sometimes people will say, oh, it was a once-off, but actually it affects the person for the rest of their life. I heard a radio interview with a guy the other day who was 64, and he was bullied at school and it still bugs him. So it's actually a huge social problem.
Totally. Yeah. And adults bully each other as well all the time.
Yes, parents bully kids.
People who think they're not bullies bully other people on the internet all the time.
Exactly.
So if you don't mind sharing with us...
Not at all.
What happened with your children that you felt like... Because I think you gave up your business to start... I mean, so it must have been quite serious. So at what point did you decide, okay, I need to infiltrate?
I sold my business because I knew that I would be the person that will be able to help people, because I went through the whole traumatic experience. My daughters...
Were you bullied as well?
Yeah, I was bullied as well as school. Those years it was more social bullying, exclusion, you know, one person controlling a whole group of friends, but that gives you some insecurities. Yeah. So that carries on in the rest of your life when you get older, until you decide, listen, one day you're not going to let this define you. Yeah. And that's the message we want to tell people as well. We also say that you're not a victim, you're a targeted person. So a bully will use anything to target you. So, you know, that's the thing. That's what happens, basically.
Yeah. And so what happened with your children when you thought?
My oldest daughter was bullied 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times by different people. Yeah. For instance, name shaming. In front of a group, elderly people like a matric group, they would pour water over her in front of, when the school, you know, comes out in the afternoon. That's embarrassing. The youngest daughter was bullied from grade 1 because she had a passion for other kids. So, for some reason, the kids didn't like it. Yeah. So we moved eventually from one school to the other just for it to happen again. And that's where I decided that we have to deal with the bully as well, because we're just shifting the problem. Yeah. Bully happens in the workplace. It happens in every school these days, but we have to acknowledge it. Yeah. It's a criminal offence to bully, and very few people know that. So, yeah, it was very severe.
I was bullied in primary school, and I remember the boys used to lift my skirts, and then they used to call me Jeannie Meanie drives a Lamborghini, and I thought, that's not an insult, guys. And I remember once I had an egg, a rotten egg. Somebody threw, one of the boys threw a rotten egg in my head. You know when you can never forget the smell? Kids can be so hardcore. How can you identify a bully?
It's very difficult to identify. We were friends, friends of ours were talking about it the other day, and she said, if you take a crowd of people, who are you going to say is the bully and who is actually the targeted person? Anybody can be a bully, but you're not born to be a bully. No. So if, like I said, if it's repetitive bad behavior, if they name and shame you, then physical is a big problem these days as well. Cyberbullying is a big problem. Then you know you are definitely bullied.
Do you think that bullies know that they are bullies?
No, a lot of times they don't, especially with adults. Yeah. So with Project Braveheart, an extensive program that we have, we're not just a normal road show. We are a program that is going to assist the teachers, companies, you know, with this program, and inform people of what is bullying and put in a step like mediation, because if you confront a person and say, listen here, this is the incidence of what happened and this is how it made me feel, then you're confronting them, they have to deal with it.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing we decided to change, you know.
So your organisation is growing. You recently had your first National Anti-Bullying Day.
So exciting.
The Braveheart Day. How was it and how was it received and what happened there?
It was amazing, and baby steps, but the feedback we got from schools and companies was amazing. Sports organisations that's going to work with us. So I know next year it's going to be huge. And we want to, well, it's national because it's a national day. Yeah. But we called it Project Braveheart Day because we don't want to call it an anti-bullying day because we're not anti somebody. Exactly. We are there for the bully as well as the targeted person.
Amazing. And I love that it's called Braveheart because Mel Gibson was the ultimate bully.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing this with us. We're going to have you back on the couch in just a little while. Thank you for being here and sharing all this amazing information with us.
Thanks.